The books of the Old Testament were written over a period of about 1,500 years, and while the authors varied greatly in age and social status, they all shared one thing in common: public recognition as a prophet of God. But there are other ancient books whose origins and standing aren't as clear. Today, they're called the Old Testament Apocrypha. Since the 1500s, the Catholic Church has officially accepted them as part of their Bible, while Protestants side with Judaism in rejecting them as part of the Scriptures, though often still recognizing their worth as supplementary material. If the Old Testament Apocrypha is Scripture, then we're free to develop teachings about God from it. However, if it's not equal to Scripture, then it does not have authority to create new teachings or modify teachings found in Scripture. A main issue is whether or not it's been accepted as Scripture by the majority of the Church throughout time. While Christian history clearly portrays a split, as exemplified by our current day and age, there are many who argue that it was accepted in New Testament Christianity. And the New Testament does allude to some of the Old Testament Apocrypha, and even in one case quotes from an apocryphal book. The New Testament authors also quote from pagan poets of their day. Referencing a truth in culture is not the same thing as claiming divine inspiration for the culture. So too with the Old Testament Apocrypha. Some of its books were a part of New Testament culture, but allusions to truths in them does not mean an overall approval of their content, nor is it a claim of divine inspiration. Often, when the New Testament quotes the Old Testament, the formula "it is written" or "the Scriptures say" is used. This formula is never used of the Apocrypha. The Council of Trent in 1546 is when the Catholic Church declared the Apocrypha Scripture, but history warns us this may have been a reaction to the newly formed, rapidly growing Reformation movement. Wherever you land in the debate, all can agree the 39 books of the Old Testament are older and have enjoyed permanent acceptance. And while the debate persists, all can agree that the Old Testament Apocrypha does have cultural, spiritual value. The debate is over just how much. Thanks for watching. Click the playlist on screen now to watch more spotlights. And if you want to read the full article, click the link in the description. You can always go to BibleDiscoveryTV.com for more videos, articles, and resources.